the National Medal for Science and Technology is a special honor bestowed by the Most Honorable Prime Minister on a Jamaican who has made outstanding contribution in national and applied science, including engineering. The award of the medal is intended to highlight the importance of cultivating applications of science and technology as a means of national development. This year, there were 3 nominations received. One was Dr. Paul Jennings, Professor Errol Morrison, and Professor Wayne McLaughlin. The assessment of the nominations took place at the Ministry of Science and Energy and at the NCSC office on Wednesday, October the 26th, 2016, and was undertaken by the Advisory Review Board selected by the Minister Wheatley. The Advisory Review Committee consisted of Dr. Eric Deans, Dr. Wesley Hughes, Professor Ian Boxill, and Professor Helen Asamoto, and myself. The review took place by judging 5 different areas. Their contribution to enhancing the knowledge pool through the publication and discoveries. Their contribution to the enhancement of the state of science and technology and innovation in our society, the social, cultural, and economical impact of their work on the Jamaican development, the lasting contribution of the work and discoveries and innovations, and 5th, their overall impact on contribution to the nation. Each judge scored each nominee individually on a scale of 1 to 10. And at the meeting that was held, the scores were put together, and obviously the discussions were made as to who should get this year's national honor.
In recognition of one of Jamaica's and the Caribbean's foremost scientists and a physician, researcher, public servant, author, educator, and innovator of the highest rank, on this, the 16th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2016, the National Commission on Science and Technology, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, are pleased to confer on Professor the Honorable Errol York St. Aubin Morrison the distinguished recognition and award of the National Medal for Science and Technology. Let's hear it for Professor Errol Morrison.
When I was about 8 or 9, my mother despaired when my school report came because I was at the bottom of the class. And you know, my grandmother, who used to live with us, would say to Mom, and her name was Lucille, and they called her Lou. She said, Lou, the boy head can't big so for nothing. Look how him read plenty. And after my eyesight was corrected, things changed. When I was at high school, Excelsior, this was 1958-59. The headmaster, Wesley Powell, declared, science is the future of this country. And we must stream our students to encourage them to get into science. He was a Garveyite, and he introduced what you call construction drawings, woodwork, metalwork in those days, which is literally heralding what we're now doing in terms of STEM education. The man was a John the Baptist of STEM education. And today, all the levels of education are pushing for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in their curriculum. I benefited from that. Then, when I returned home from Europe, I was apprenticed to Dr. Keith Tang, who was then the head of Jubilee Hospital at KPH. And one day, whilst operating and we stopped for a pause, I don't know what he saw in me, but Keith turned and he said, "Errol, boys like you don't normally come home, you know. What you need to do is continue to pursue excellence. Grow tall, and the leaders and policymakers in the group, in your country, will call you to serve. Grow tall." And then early in the 80s, when I was apprenticed to the Honorable Manley West, and we were doing research on the medicinal plants, etc., he would say to me several times, "Morrison, if you're doing one thing at a time, you're wasting time." He insisted on working hard, very hard. And I want to tell you, young people, that the technology era has taken you out of the village in Jamaica to the global village. And if you're not world class, you're no class. Let me now just turn simply to something that has affected me and has really touched me. About 2 weeks ago, I WhatsApped my sisters, daughters, and granddaughter, who all live abroad, and I said, "Look, Jamaica is giving out its Oscar medals in science, technology, and innovation, and I have been nominated for one of them." The response came back immediately. "Win or not, we shall be there." And they are here, sitting over there. You know, I felt I won something immediately. My friends tell me I cry very easily. But at that moment, I recognized that they realized that after all is said and done, it's the family that matters. And I just want to say to us all here, whether it be the family at home, the family at church, the family at school, the family at work, it's the family that matters, that unison. And on behalf of the family of science, both here and throughout the length of breadth of Jamaica, I just want to say thank you for the support throughout the years, school, university, the workplace, the support from those who liked what I did and those who didn't. Because nature is of the order that the pluses and the minuses must contribute to the final product. On behalf of all of those, and on behalf of the scientific family, I just want to say a profound thank you for this recognition from the bottom of my pancreas. And let me wish you all a very good night and walk good. Thank you.
That's it from the National Medal for Science, Technology and Innovation Awards Ceremony 2016. You are watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
No one knew, ladies and gentlemen, in 1991, when the Scientific Research Council's Young Scientists and Technologists Award was conceptualized, that our scientists would have such a major impact on our countries. No one knew that Dr. Andre Gordon, the 1991 winner, would be the managing director of one of the leading analytical services laboratories in the entire Caribbean region. Ladies and gentlemen, no one could have imagined that our 1993 winner, Professor Dale Weber, would be the Pro Vice Chancellor for Graduate Studies and Research at the University of the West Indies. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, no one could have imagined that our 2001 winner, our Honorable Dr. Andrew Wheatley, would be our Minister of Science, Energy, and Technology. Yesterday, we heard 3 presentations from 3 highly achieved young ladies. These ladies went up for this year's award. Their work truly reflects the challenges of today, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, pose solutions for tomorrow. The research and prototypes that address the rapid increase in diabetes mellitus, to combat the scourge of cancer, and better manage elusive, ever-replicating evolving bacteria causing urinary tract infections. We know that the research executed by these brilliant young ladies or young scientists will impact positively on the quality of life of all Jamaicans and will play their part in developing and driving the growth and development of our country and, of course, support our growth agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, rest assured that we have a brilliant and bright future in science, technology, and innovation. The Scientific Research Council's Young Scientists and Technologists Award, ladies and gentlemen, is not just an award. It is an award for excellence. It's an instrument of pride. It's a promise for a better Jamaica. It's a promise that we have a future in improving the quality of lives of all our people. All 3 presentations resonated with the call for more innovation aimed at improving the quality of life of all people. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, all 3 propose reasonable solutions to addressing these serious and increasingly popular medical challenges.
The purpose of the National Innovation Awards has already been noted to be to celebrate outstanding innovation and to promote the commercially viable application of science and technology through the development of novel inventions. Inventions and innovations, of course, refer to products, processes, equipment, tools, and so on that demonstrate originality and are beneficial to industry and/or society. The awards, to my mind, aim at recognizing the basic fact that the economic success of any nation will depend very heavily upon the ability to generate competitive goods and services which are desirable to a wide cross-section of consumers, both at home and abroad. These innovative and competitive goods and services may originate from our cultural creations, from art, music, literature, dance, or from sports, as you have heard. From many areas, but there can be no doubt that science and technology must also be an important and indeed an indispensable contributor to these advances. The awards recognize that without innovation and inventiveness, competitiveness will ultimately perish. If our products are not changing and improving continuously, keeping our competitors on edge and giving you the edge, you are losing. There is no holding game. If you are not advancing, you are retreating. The Apples, Microsofts, Samsungs show ample evidence of the importance of constant innovation. And I dare say that Ibo Cooper's masterful historical romp tells the story for Jamaican music.
watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
The National Medal for Science, Technology and Innovation Awards ceremony celebrates achievements in energy, agriculture, health and safety, among other sectors. The biannual event was recently held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel, and Business Access TV was there to bring you the highlights.
I applaud the efforts of the Scientific Research Council, the National Commission on Science and Technology, and the numerous sponsors and stakeholders that have partnered in creating an enabling environment for budding scientists and innovators to flourish. Ladies and gentlemen, initiatives of this nature give so many Jamaicans a foothold into science, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. While I acknowledge the sponsors and partners, I must pause to recognize the true reason for our being here. The awardees themselves, whose perseverance, ingenuity, creativity, and hard work have brought us together this evening. As a country, we recognize the tremendous work that you have done and the value that you have added to this country. For that, we say, job well done. It is very important that we celebrate the achievements of our people, especially in science, technology, and innovation, as it holds tremendous possibilities for the sustainable development of this country. As an administration, we are cognizant of the transformative role played by the advancements in science, technology, and innovation, and we are in full support of the activities in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica is ranked 89th of 128 countries on the Global Innovation Index of 2016, an improvement from 96 in 2015. But though we have improved, we know that much more needs to be done. Currently, we spend less than 1% of our gross domestic product on science and development, and even less, 0.3%, on research and development. Despite this low spend, stalwarts such as Dr. Henry Lowe, Professor Errol Morrison, and many other individuals and companies have invested not just time, but also money into these enterprises. And this, ladies and gentlemen, has significantly aided our advancement as a country. But ladies and gentlemen, before I continue ranting about our legacy as relates to ST&I must pause to introduce our guest speaker this evening. A life of exile from 1961 until 1984 resulted in an international flavor to her education. She holds a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Botswana and Swaziland, and an MA in Education from the University of London. In 1992, she studied for a diploma in higher education, administration, and leadership at the Bryn Mawr in the USA. In 1997, she completed an MA in linguistics at the University of Stellenbosch, and a diploma in leadership in development at Kennedy School of Government at Harvard, while she was serving as a member of parliament. In fact, she became member of parliament in 1994 and has amassed impressive experience in positions of public office, including Deputy Chief Whip of the ANC in the National Assembly from 1995 to 1998. Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces in 1998 and its chairperson from 1999 to 2004. Her experience in education policy planning made her a welcome appointment as South Africa's Minister of Education from 2004 until 2009. She was appointed Minister of Science and Technology in May 2009 and Minister of Home Affairs in October 2012. She was again appointed as Minister of Science and Technology in May 2014, following the 5th democratic elections in South Africa. The Cape Peninsula University of Technology and Stellenbosch University have awarded her honorary doctorates. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming tonight's guest speaker, Her Excellency Grace Naledi Mandisa Pandor.
We have a massive potential as South Africa for research, development, innovation, and the building of social cohesion through investment in South Africa's indigenous knowledge. We believe this area offers great opportunity, not only to those who use it in their daily lives, but also to researchers, to government agencies, to business firms, both foreign and domestic. We adopted an Indigenous knowledge system policy over 10 years ago, and we established a dedicated office in the Ministry and Department of Science and Technology, the National Indigenous Knowledge Systems Office, whose remit is to develop and manage Indigenous knowledge systems. We recognize within that objective that skills development of researchers is absolutely imperative, but we also recognize the important need to equip communities for sustainable livelihoods and entrepreneurship opportunities. Many of you gathered here would know that for many, many communities, an interest by scientists in Indigenous knowledge has meant really denying and depriving communities of development advantages. We did not want to proceed in that way, and so we set about developing a very careful policy which would ensure advantage to all. We add value to existing community knowledge and skills as opposed to using preconceived interventionist methods. We include a focus which includes community members, what we call Indigenous knowledge holders, as well as practitioners when we design and implement projects. When I go to communities in Limpopo that use particular forms of Indigenous knowledge, if I develop that without their participation, I'm actually a thief. It's crooked. Because it is those people's knowledge, they are the holders of the knowledge, and they must be beneficiaries. So our bioeconomy strategy focuses on the development of biotechnologies in the 3 key sectors I made reference to earlier. And it prioritizes various fields which must be developed in each of these 3. As South Africa, one of our greatest assets is the combination of our rich biological diversity and our wealth of Indigenous knowledge. We are the world's 3rd most biologically diverse country, and we are home to almost 10% of the world's known plant species and 15% of all known coastal marine species. This wonderful capital can be used to our country's advantage in our current economic challenges through a range of multidisciplinary approaches, including providing raw materials for the natural product sector, bioprospecting with the aim of developing pharmaceutical, cosmeceutical, and industrial applications, and using indigenous plants and animals as food sources. With such a rich biodiversity, our country has a scientific competitive advantage in the sphere of Indigenous knowledge systems. About 24,000 plant species exist in the country, of which 4,000 are used to manufacture medicines. 20,000 tons of medicinal plants are exported from South Africa each year. Now, you shouldn't applaud, because what we are exporting is raw material. We are not manufacturing in South Africa. So at the moment, we are working on technologies for harvesting indigenous knowledge locally, because this promises major benefits for economic development and for the development of treatments, as well as for growing an export industry in South Africa.